Process of renewing a key road in northeast Gainesville is being discussed, and city leaders are asking for feedback from residents.
The repairs will cost anywhere from $3 to $6 million, and the money will come from the infrastructure tax that passed in 2022. TV20's Misty Webb spoke with a parent who's concerned about his child's safety.
The project that would repair the pavement along Northeast 9th Street in Gainesville is in the talks. The 1.5-mile stretch would range from East University Avenue to Northeast 23rd Avenue. That portion of 9th Street includes Howard Bishop Middle, where a meeting took place. Gainesville city leaders discussed improvements like wider sidewalks, more crosswalks, and widening bike lanes. City leaders that presented the options emphasized that nothing is set in stone, and they want all the feedback that they can get.
We just need to do a better job of making the streets safe for everybody. I mean, I see people using the bike lanes that have wheelchairs or skateboards or rollerblades.
Joshua Ney is a father of a child that uses the bike lane.
Well, my kids go to this school, and they've almost been hit by a car multiple times just trying to cross the street. We live directly across the street from this school.
City leaders estimate costs could fall between $3 to $6 million. In November of 2022, Alachua County residents voted in favor of collecting a 1-cent sales tax. This is expected to generate more than $17 million per year for the city of Gainesville. A big portion of that money is dedicated to road repair and public safety.
Once we have a final scope finalized, it'll probably take about a year to complete the design phase.
City leaders say they will review feedback from residents in the upcoming months. In Gainesville, Misty Webb, TV 20 News.